What's going on, everyone? Making a video today, actually confirming my 22 Fat Bob joining the channel. So I haven't really talked about it much. It was kind of up in the air. I've said it a couple of times. I really want to break out, and the whole reason I bought the Fat Bob was because my wife wants to learn how to ride, and she feels comfortable on the bike. Breakout's kind of too big of a bike for her. Wheelbase, you're talking an extra almost 4 inches longer. 117 motor, which is going to sound contradictory because I'm going to end up doing stuff to this anyway. However, so she likes this bike, so we're keeping this bike. So I decided I'm going to start playing with it. You guys know I have a low rider, same frame, slightly different characteristics. I put high bars on my low rider. My low rider is kind of my cruiser. To be honest with you, in the springtime, I'll probably look to just trade my low rider in for a Breakout. Breakout is my all-time favorite bike, and yeah, I probably won't stop until I get one. But for now, so Fat Bob. Fat Bob is a bike that a lot of people they didn't sell that very well, okay, over here anyway, which is why Harley discontinued them over here. And to me, one of the things that appeal about them is they're kind of like, it's kind of like their sport, I guess you can call it, cruiser. It's almost like they tried to make something more sporty but not be a Sportster, and that's what they came out with. And personally, I like the bike a lot. I wish I could get a smaller front tire. I don't mean height-wise, I mean width-wise. I'm going to see if I can put a 130 on the front. That will help the handling a bit and put some decent tires on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the motor. I don't know if I'm just going to put a cam in there and just be happy with a stage 2. I can tell you the 117 stage 2 in my lowrider compared to the stock 114 is night and day difference. Like, I get on the Fat Bob and I reach the gas and it's just like I just hear the bike yawn. So I definitely have to do something. You can see I put the air filter from the lowrider onto the Fat Bob. They say that's a heavy breather. So, and I can tell as soon as I put it on there. You could certainly hear the air intake more so than with the stock intake. And I just got delivered today my Vance Hines 2-in-1 upswept. I got it at a really, really good price, so I couldn't turn it down. I thought about going with a Trask or going with a Gallop, something pretty cool, something different that you don't see all the time. But for the price I got the Vance Hines, I couldn't complain. I like the pipe on my lowrider, so I'll probably like on the Fat Bob. It is a cool bike. Let's take a look at it. So it's a cool bike. It's got kind of a unique exhaust with the 2 pipes on the side like that. I wish they made a exhaust aftermarket for it that stuck to that theme. We all know 2-in-1s make more power. So I kind of kept looking, and I even reached out to Gallop and see if they would do something custom, but they never answered me, even though they say custom exhaust. I was trying to get a 2-in-1 and then back out into 2 so I can keep that profile of the bike, but they never answered me, so I just moved on. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as the cam goes, if I'm going to do a stage 3 or a stage 4. If I do that full-blown engine, it'll just be a Screaming Eagle kit. So, and they do roughly high 130s, low 140s. So it's nothing crazy, I mean, I had a Busa before this, and I had a GSXS 1000 before this. So neither of these are going to put the horsepower out that they were putting out, but they will put out the torque. The Fat Bob, there's a lot of people that have different opinions on it. A lot of people out there, especially like true Harley guys, they don't like the headlight of the bike. I personally like it. I think it looks a little more modern. You know, the bike just has character to me. It looks like it's like a modern bike with like a nostalgic twist. What the hell kind of horn does that Amazon truck have? I don't think I ordered any more ports today. But anyway, so yeah, it's looks like a apocalyptic bike. You know, it's got that nostalgic, almost has that WW2 appearing motorcycles that you used to see. So I mean, I like it. Like I said, it's not for everyone. I did change the seat already. I put a Renegade Solo seat on it. I like that it hugs the line of the body a little bit more. I'm gonna put mid controls. It's kind of funny. Like I got these two bikes, and my lowrider came with mid controls, and this one comes with forward controls, and they definitely should be reversed. So I put forward controls on my lowrider, and I absolutely love it. I can't just use the mid controls on this bike because the primary case cover on the lowrider, because it came with mid controls, has a channel going through it where the shifter shaft can go through. Well, they don't have that on the Fat Bob. So you have to buy the mid controls they sell for the bike from Harley. They are like shit. They sell it each side, and it's like $450 for one side, $550 for the other side. And it's just crazy the way they do it. I guess it's because of the exhaust. They're mid controls, but they're only back about 4-5 inches or so. So what I'm gonna end up doing, get you back up there again. What I'm gonna end up doing is, so I was looking at other mid controls, and so Speed Merchant makes a really nice pair of mid controls for the bike, but they're like $1,500. They come with a new master cylinder. But they're like truly, like, if you've ridden sport bikes before, it's almost like a nice pair of rear sets for sport bikes. TC Brothers makes a set that's just under $1,000. Honestly, those are the ones I'll probably get. They're made out of billet, and I'm sorry, my wife is texting in. They're made out of billet, and they look pretty decent. So those will probably be the ones I'm gonna end up putting on there. I like the bar setup, except for I think they're a little wide. So I probably will look to put a different bar up there. Depending on how my wife sits on the bike, I may do a pullback, may do shorter risers. It's really up to her positioning. But yeah, so I want to have fun with this bike. I don't see myself doing anything else to my lowrider. I'm pretty happy with the bike the way it is, and if I trade it in for the breakout, I don't want to lose any more money that I'm already going to on the bike, because we all know Harley don't give you crap for any upgrades that you do to the bike, even though they're going to use it as a selling point when they sell the bike. So yeah, I don't know if I'm definitely going to trade it in. I do love my lowrider a lot. I think it's a wonderful bike. So I guess it really depends on how I feel about that bike when I'm done with it. You know, the way I see the two bikes, the lowrider is kind of like a perfect combination between what the Fat Bob is and what the Breakout is. It's a cruiser. It's got the 180 in the back, 130 in the front, but still has a shorter wheelbase. And it's got the handling that the Breakout definitely doesn't have, with that big wide tire in the back and the tall tire in the front. So it's like a go-between, but my thought process is I like the Breakout so much. I like the custom chopper look, and if I get a Breakout, you know, I can have one extreme. I could have my cruiser raked out, you know, kind of a Harley version of a chopper, and then I can have my more sportier bike. Yeah, you know, the only thing I don't like about the Breakouts is just too much damn chrome, but that's simple. I can just black it out, and I'll be extremely happy with it. Put some 10-inch bars on it, and it's good to go. But yeah, we'll see where we go. Wife's at work, so I'm going to see if I can throw the exhaust on while she's there, and hopefully she won't notice. So for me, it'll probably be a 2-day process because she's only there for another 4 more hours, and it'll probably take me 6 or 8 hours. For you guys, it'll take a second. Ready? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to stop it so soon. Let's go forward a little bit more. And there we go. So total time to install was probably, took me about 2 hours to get the exhaust off, about an hour to get the new exhaust on. Any difficulties with install, well, either or. So the most difficult part was taking the old exhaust off. That exhaust it was a little bit of a pain in the butt because the way you have to do it, you have to pull that top slip-on off before you can remove the bracket that holds the whole exhaust together. And trying to pry that slip-on off, it's not really a slip-on, it's more like a pry-on. And then I'll tell you, the front exhaust. So trying to get to that one screw all the way up in the top of the cylinder head up there. So should I just touch it? Now I gotta wipe it again. What I had to do is I had to take this off, and then if you just remove the bolt up here, you're able to pry your oil cooler out enough to be able to angle in there to get that one screw nut that's back there. Okay. Other than that, it was pretty easy. There's really no other contact points on it. This bike comes with forward controls, so you didn't have to use the extra parts that come with it. Like, so this is the exact same kit that was on my lowrider, and I had spacers that I had to use because that bike came with mid controls. Now that I don't have them, I don't have to use those spacers. However, I may try to put, so like I said, I want mid controls for this bike, so I might try to put my lowrider mid controls on here now for the brake side, and then if that's the case, I can just buy mid controls for the driver's side, which the shift side, which is only like $400. Yeah, let me get it down. I'll start it up. But what do you guys think? How do you think it looks? I actually think the pipes look better on this bike than they do the lowrider. Yeah. I also got to snap a few pictures because I really like the way those pipes look this color. They are not going to stay that color. I will show you what color they will turn over time. It's like a goldish color, which on this bike looks really cool because it matches the front wheels and everything. But on that bike, I don't know, I guess we'll see how it ages. Alright, let me get this down. I'll start it up. So let me just talk a little bit. Comparing this to exhaust. So this is my first exhaust I've done on a Harley. If you are coming over from sport bikes to Harley, so I've assembled probably 20-ish exhausts on sport bikes. This is a dream compared to a sport bike install. When you do the exhaust on inline 4, you got to pull the radiator off, drain the fluid, all that crap. It's like a full 8-hour deal unless you're a mechanic with a mechanic shop and you're used to doing it every day and you know all the ins and outs. Exhaust on 4 cylinders used to literally take me an 8-hour plus day. I had a couple of V-twins, Ducatis, I had a Suzuki TLR, I had a Bimota SB8, and I had an Aprilia, and when I did the exhaust on those, it was not much easier just because there's 2 less pipes. Everything is so tight on a sport bike. Like I said, this bike is a dream. I will say, so this bike only has a few hundred miles on it, so I went and got exhaust gaskets just in case. I probably could have gotten away with using the stock exhaust gaskets, but I didn't want to take a chance. It's like $15 for the 2. Then I bought some anti-seize because I thought the exhaust would come with anti-seize, but it didn't, so I should probably have some anyway. What else about the exhaust? Pretty standard. You put everything on loose, and once you get the muffler tightened up, then you tighten everything else as you go. foot-pounds for the exhaust bolts. That wasn't easy to find, and then when I finally did find it, everybody's telling me it's in inch pounds, and like, just tell me what they are in torque specs. So it turned out to be 10 foot-pounds. So I can tell you I did 15 because when I took the bolts off, I felt like they were a little bit tighter than 10. I actually felt they felt more like, 20 or 30, but I will keep them at 15, and then I will check on it again a couple of weeks. The O2 sensors. So what else is nice about this bike that my Jap bikes didn't have was these have plugs. You just unplug the O2 sensors and you can unscrew them nice and easy. And my other bikes didn't. You literally had to wind them up when you were putting them in. It was really a pain in the ass. I took the passenger pegs off, so I didn't need that extra bracket. Taking that stock exhaust off and the bracket that I'm not using probably saved close to 20 pounds, I would say. That's it. Yeah, let me get this thing down and I'll get it started and you guys can hear it run. All right, got it out. Let's get it up. Not only will this be a cold start, but it'll be the first start on this exhaust. Cross fingers. Doesn't sound like any leaks. Not quite as loud as the 117. You can see some residue burning off. Ooh, I can smell it too. Yeah. Alright guys, tell me what you think. If you want to see more Fat Bob, just make sure you like and subscribe. Post a comment or two. Helps me out. I really want to start getting more stuff on here. And it's nice to know that people are actually watching. Give it a couple of revs. Yeah, that's pretty throaty. I'll see if I can get my GoPro up and going, and then I'll put it on there and I'll do a riding video. If I can, I'll attach it to this one. Otherwise, it'll be a separate video. Alright guys, appreciate you guys. Peace.